down tilt. Down tilt is very important because it allows you to place your best coverage in a certain area. Before we talk about down tilt, we've got a bunch of definitions. We need to understand what our antenna pattern looks like. And so here's a typical elevation view of an antenna. Notice that the bore site, 0 dBi, we're not going to talk about gain today. That's our frame of reference or our reference point. That's we'll call that 0 degrees. And we're going to measure the beam width of the antenna, and that's just the angular measurement between the 3 dB down points. You'll notice that this antenna has a 6 degree beam width, so it's plus or minus 3 degrees to the 3 dB down points. So again, we're trying to place the main lobe in the area where you want the best coverage. Typically, you're going to have 2 degrees of down tilt. Link Planner will tell you how much down tilt you need. If it tells you 2 degrees, in all likelihood, you're going to be measuring an angle of 88 degrees. You can use trigonometry to confirm this, and you'll notice that this particular tool will tell you a range if you're interested. So there are other tools you can use. Our recommendation is that you get your level and use it well before you get onto the tower. You'll want to experiment with it to make sure that you understand both the icons that are on the levels display, and also you'll want to understand the angular measurements, the digital measurements that it's telling you. And so, raise the left side of the level, raise the right side of the level, and make sure you understand what the level is actually telling you. Once you get onto the tower, there are a couple of things that you'll need to do. You'll be tempted to put the level on the front of the access point. Don't do that. Don't put the level over here at the back of the access point, the actual device. Make sure that you have the level mounted on the back of the antenna. That is our frame of reference. You'll also note that you have on the bracket, it is calibrated, and this is a rough calibration so that you can see roughly what the down tilt and the up tilt angle is. But once you get that kind of locked in, then you want to get out and do your finer measurements. And you can see here, once I show you, you can see here this has a down tilt of about 1.2 degrees. Now you'll note that I've done a couple of things in showing you this. My hands are not covering either of the bubbles. That is very helpful. When you take a picture of this to be a part of your site documentation, you want to make sure that you don't have your hand over either of the bubbles. The other recommendation we have is to make sure that you get a picture of the horizon in the background, or in your picture you show the horizon. So today we've talked about digital levels and trying to understand what the level is telling you. And the whole idea is to get the right down tilt on your access point so that you can obtain optimum coverage, and again, don't have to climb back up the tower to adjust it.